There's no such thing as totally healed in trauma. Na alam ko marami sa inyo ang makaka-relate.
Sit back guys kasi marami kayong matututunan dito. Sobrang kapal at taas ng wall ko, especially to other people, even to my husband.
Bubugbugin ako or papagalitan ako ng nanay ko. Naaano ko na yan, naa-assess ko na, bago pa mangyari, naa-assess ko na. I would say that trauma will become a gift if used correctly. So may pagka-Jacqueline Jose siya eh. May sunog. Takbo na tayo, gumising na kayo.
Si Jet din yung tipo ng tao na tapos na yung sunog, naapula na, pero yung pakiramdam niya parang nagkakasunog pa rin.
Yeah. If you see that your life is in chaos or very chaotic, you have to start looking. Trauma, again, is a gift and a curse. Your woundedness would be able to heal other people. Ayan, welcome guys sa aking podcast, no? Ang podcast na walang title. Wala pang title talaga to. Pero, I decided to create my own podcast now because I think it's about time. I've been thinking this for a very long time, but sige lang, ipupush ko talaga. So, welcome here sa podcast ko. Kasama ko ang aking asawa. Ayan, si Nina Rayos.
Lagi nyo na ako nakikita, guys. So, ang no budget talent ni Jen. Of course, always tayo nakasupport.
No, nandito ngayon tayo sa Plan Ferry Manila, which is, ito na yung magiging hub natin for our podcast. Lahat ng mga, then, mag-i-invite din kami ng mga guests here. So, I will be the one to interview. But for the meantime, ako muna ang i-interview ni Nina.
Ang sarap kaya dito, nakaka-relax.
Oo,
nakita mo yung mga sasakyan, mga tao busy sa labas. For today's video.
Yeah, for today's video, ano ba topic natin today? Ang topic natin is, ano yung usually reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng hiwalayan sa mag-asawa at the same time, the major reason. Alam ko marami sa inyo ang makaka-relate.
Ba't ba tayo lalayo? Siyempre sa atin na lang dalawa. Ano ba yung usually natin hindi na pagkakasunduan?
Ayan. Well, kadalasan kasi hindi natin pagkakasunduan is usually kasi magkaiba kasi yung pananaw ko sa pananaw niya and how I see things or perceive things iba doon sa pina-perceive niya. Also, may kanya-kanya rin kaming hugot sa mga bagay. So, ayan din yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon dahil I think it's important that we know what to deal and how to deal with this kind of problems, especially sa mga relationship. And I'm very, hindi ko na pa sinasabi na parang ako dito, parang forte ka to or I mean expert ako dito. I'm no expert, I'm still learning.
Point of view 1, point of view 2, point of view 3. Kaya sit back guys kasi marami kayong matututunan dito and along the way you might feel or might realize something na it resonates, 'di ba, sa katulad ng pinagdadaanan niyo. Based kasi sa usually nating pagtatalunan is magkaiba nga tayo ng way of thinking and yon yung point of view. So, ano ba yung mga reasons bakit nagkakaroon ng mga iba't ibang point of view kahit na iisa lang naman yung topic or iisa lang naman yung pinatutunguhan nung pinag-uusapan natin pero magkaiba yung pinanggagalingan natin.
Okay. Technically, the reason why we have different set of point of views is that number one factor is that magkaiba naman kasi talaga tayo ng kinalakihan. Kumbaga iba yung culture ko growing up, iba yung environment na kinalakihan ko growing up and also si Nina, iba rin yung kanyang environment and yung culture and the values that was instilled to her growing up. So, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng clash of the titans, I would say. This is yung differences of values, characters, and also belief systems that could affect marriage or relationship. At dahil dyan, nandito na si Presi ang tagapagdala ng balita ng pagkain. So this is from Plan Ferry Manila. Ayan, kain muna tayo.
Sa sponsor namin.
Sponsor. Sarili ko, I sponsor myself.
Thank you, Sal, for sponsoring us.
Pakita ka naman, Presi. Gusto ko nakikita ang ating beauty ng ating...
Yes, ang pinakamaganda naming staff.
Dito.
Si Ate
Ayan.
Presi,
Ang
ang
tagapagdala.
pinakamagandang barista ng Plan Fairy.
Yes, okay. So, ito ang tagapagdala ng pagkain.
And
at
legit na
balita.
barista silang dalawa. Ako, barbarista. Ako personally, usually when I decide on things, it's kung ano ba yung mas mapapadali, kung saan mas mapapadali yung buhay ko, kung ano yung mas efficient para sa akin. I usually decide like that. But when it comes to Jet, he always think on a larger perspective. Kumbaga, dun siya sa what do you call it?
Pangkalahatan.
Oh.
Sa nararamdaman ng
Long
nakararami.
term, yan. Always siyang nagbe-base on a long-term decision and point of view.
Mm-mm.
So, why?
Isa rin sa mga factor is yung decision making natin is dependent on how we respond on our childhood trauma, no? So importante talaga, this is what I always tell to people, that childhood trauma really affects how we decide and how we see things and how we relate to our partner. Kasi kung hindi natin napapangalanan yung ating mga childhood woundedness, we won't be able to understand how we operate to ourselves and our partner. So, kung mapapansin nyo, in every decision making that we are doing, we're actually basing it on two things according dun sa book na, I forgot the name, Robin, hindi siya si Robin Williams, but I will link it here, okay? But that book gave me an understanding on how we decide on things, and we decide on two things, both in pleasure and in pain. So, those are the factors kung saan tayo nag-weigh in, if that would give us pleasure or that would give us pain. So, pain comes from, usually from traumatic experience. If we don't want to experience them, then that's where we decide sometimes. Or if that gives pleasure, that's where we lean if we want to decide on something. So, it's really important that we know where we are coming from, because not all intentions, well, sometimes even if you have good intentions but the motivations are not correct, it would always lead to something else. So it's important that we better check out kung ano yung motivation behind our intention, no matter how good or bad your intentions were. But if we understand the motivation behind it, then that's gonna be a big factor in relationships, especially. So, yun.
Ayun. Okay, so, para mas madali nating maintindihan, and dun sa mga nagtataka, kasi yung mga sinabi ni Jet kanina, it's really something na hindi normal dito sa Pilipinas. Ano ba yung trauma? Pag sinabing trauma, what is trauma? Kasi usually pag naririnig mo yan, trauma.
Trauma is
Arte lang yan.
alam mo, tama yung sinabi ni Nins na trauma itself is, ang connotation sa atin dito is like, arte lang yan. It's like, we are
nasa
very,
isip mo lang yan.
yeah, actually, Filipinos are very sensitive to emotions, but we are very insensitive when it comes to trauma, because we always think that being too sensitive to something else is just arte, no? But in reality, our traumas, culturally, and there's a lot of backup sa mga anthropologists, sociologists, no? That yung traumas natin, it came from our generational patterns that were passed on from our ancestors. So if you have noticed, no, karamihan sa mga Pilipino hindi marunong tumanggi, hindi marunong magsalita. They're very afraid to show their feelings even though they are very sensitive. They're not very direct, unlike the Western ones. It's because culturally and historically, we were trained to do so under Spanish and Japanese and Americans, and most Filipinos, especially the Indios, were trained not to speak up, because if you speak up, it's either you die or you will be outcasted. So,
Or kontrabida ka.
kontrabida ka. Oo. Especially, we are trained to be the underdogs. So, underdogs are trained not to speak emotionally, what they think, what they feel. So it was passed on to us, no? And although we Filipinos are very resilient, pero these are the silent problems that we are encountering now that we are westernized na rin, and we are influenced by by science and psychology. And right now we are a lot of the generations like right now are more open to their feelings and their thoughts. It's because most of the older ones would think na tabu yun, bawal, but in our generation right now as we speak, no, I'm speaking, no, that emotions are okay, but during their time it's not allowed, no.
Mga 90s.
80s, 90s,
Yes.
yes, oo, no.
Oh, you are being rude when you say what you feel,
Yes.
or parang when you cut. Usually yan sa mga magulang.
Yes.
Huwag kang umiyak, nakakahiya.
Yes.
Or sasabihin sa'yo na sumasagot ka pa. But
Oo.
you are just trying to explain what you are feeling, and what you are
yes.
thinking at that moment.
And of course, we cannot. Ito ha, i-disclaim ko lang, okay? We cannot blame them because that's what they know. Unlike today, we have that capacity to know. We have a lot of kumbaga areas na pwede natin na itong maaral, no? Unlike before, there's not a lot of people who know about this, no? People then do not have that access unlike now. Yun yung importante ngayon na we are able to differentiate now and to correct, no? But we cannot deny na talagang we cannot blame them kasi they can only teach us what they know, and we can't blame them because that's the best they know how.
They
no?
were raised like that as well. Diba?
Yes. So, yun talaga.
Parang, syempre, di ba, if the majority of the people believes this one, or if the majority of the people, ito yung pinaniniwalaan, and may iilan lang na magsasabi nung kanila, of course, hindi yun magiging reasonable because mas marami yung fraction ng tao na hindi sanay dun sa mga ginagawa nila.
Trauma is an experience wherein a person wouldn't be able to emotionally regulate, emotionally adapt to a certain experience, and that causes a shock. Neurologically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, I would say. So, these are some examples of trauma that we experience growing up. And we operate our decision-making through our traumas. Yun.
So yun, yung mga traumatic experiences na yun, it stays with us hanggang paglaki natin. Ako, I have traumatic experiences nung bata pa ako, and hanggang ngayon, nakaka-affect siya on how I decide and perceive things. So, how do you explain about it? Bakit siya nag-i-stay ng ganun katagal kahit na iisipin mo, parang naka-move on naman ako, ang tagal na nangyari.
Yes.
Okay naman ako, I'm functioning,
Yes.
I'm smiling, I'm very happy, but subconsciously, the trauma stays with us.
Yes. And that, I like the term subconsciously, no? Because I would have to explain, no? Since really, no guys, I'm no expert. I'm so fascinated about the subconscious and the conscious because growing up, no, kids are, in psychology, we have like the sponge, no? So we absorb. There's a certain age where kids do acquire a lot of knowledge. If you remember when you are young, on the younger years, though, we can easily memorize a certain song without reading, just by hearing. No, dati naalala ko na memorize ko ang pagdadasal ng rosaryo. Memorize ko lahat, tapos tinitignan ko lang yung papel kasi hindi pa ako marunong magbasa, pero I memorized it just by listening. Also,
same with Sky.
Yeah.
Natuto siyang rosary before reading.
Before reading, exactly. And even listening to songs. You memorize all the words just by hearing, kahit na hindi mo naiintindihan yung konteksto ng kanta. It's because that's how our mind works when we are young. Kumbaga, 2.5 gigabytes ang laman ng utak mo ng bata, pero at this age, parang 356 MB na lang ang laman. MB na lang ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Exactly. So, when we are young, we acquire those experiences and knowledge. And that is the formation of the subconscious. That's the foundation of the subconscious. And when you store that at the back of your brain, the foundation of the subconscious is actually for survivability, for the means to survive. That's where we form the ego as well. Nagsa-start na rin siyang mag-form even at a younger age. And during this time, it's really important that we are very careful in forming the minds of the kids, because once it's like in one of the therapists have told me that when you start wiring when you are a kid at namali ka ng wiring, it would become like para siyang not okay, mabubuhol siya sa isip mo or growing up, and you would think that it's okay because the values, the foundation, the character, the experience, and everything growing up, it would be that foundation in the subconscious. So pag namali ang wiring, pag bata, bit-bit nila yan hanggang paglaki. And that's where problems come from, because pag mali ang wiring mo at mali yung mga experiences mo that you shouldn't experience at a young age, doon nagkakaroon ng problema of mistrust, doon nagkakaroon ng attachment styles, attachment issues, nagkakaroon ng narcissism, neglect, and all sorts of personal issues that we can encounter later on in the parts of our life.
I just realized it lately nga nung nagpa-therapist kami ni Jet noong 2012, and yun, lately, continuous din yung pag-uusap naming dalawa, and also talking to other therapists and yung mga friends namin na nagka-counseling din as well. Doon ko na-realize na grabe pala yung effect ng trauma na nangyari sa akin when I was a kid. So, sobrang kapal at taas ng wall ko, especially to other people. Even to my husband, may wall ako sa kanya. Alam niya yan. He's very aware of that. We are working on that as well. But for me, intentionally, gustong-gusto ko nang i-open up yung sarili ko. But subconsciously, my mind protects me from being hurt again because of the same situation that I experienced nung bata ako. And I think it's, trauma.
Yun yung isa sa mga, I would really advocate, because one of my personal advocacy is trauma and abuse, and I would really like to talk about this because not a lot of people really had that knowledge and capacity to handle such trauma. Although I'm not a licensed therapist or psychologist, but given my experience in this, I would say, field, and talking and personally experiencing it myself, trauma, if unnoticed or if it's not addressed, it becomes kalyo. So sometimes you would think that you are okay, ganito ganyan, but in reality, if you go back to the subconscious and in your woundedness, napakakapal ng kalyo. It's the kalos na tinatawag. So, therapists would have to go deep and unearth those childhood traumas, and that's what we call the inner healing, or that's what we call the inner child work. So, yun yung importante, because I believe that knowing who you are and knowing your inner wounds would actually help you to become aware on how you react on things and how you respond to other people. So, yun.
Ako, tama yun. Ako, sa akin, ang interpretation ko ng trauma is parang sugat. So, every time na natitrigger siya, it's like you're scratching the wound again and again. So, syempre, ang tendency mo, you will protect yourself. Doon ka na nakakapag-isip, nakakapag-decide based on how you will rescue yourself. So, yun, speaking of, ano ang pros, may pros ba? Or puro cons ang trauma?
Wow, very good question. I like that. And I would say that trauma is both a gift and your enemy. It's a love and hate, no? I would say, in my experience, no, having the trauma growing up, I experienced difficulties dealing with people, especially with men, because I didn't grow up to have a father and I have a relationship issue with my sister. My mom was broken during the time that I was growing up, my formative years. My mom was a little bit broken that time, no. So
What? Emotionally?
emotionally
Physically or mentally?
emotionally broken because our life that time was really difficult, no, because she's a single mom. So during that time, I would have to survive on my own because wala naman mag-aalaga sa akin ng bata kasi my mom is a single mom. So technically, emotionally, I was abandoned because my mom didn't have that chance. No? I'm also a parentified child. So later on, I will be talking in the next podcast about the parentified child. Pero ang nangyayari kasi is that growing up, you will have ang ideal response ng bata growing up is really to form those protection eh. Kasi syempre wala ka pang capacity that time. So you would have to lean to your parents for your defenses, for your affection, and kung wala yan, ang mangyayari is that you would have to tend to your own. And the traumatic experience will actually become that button wherein pag na-experience mo yan growing up, makikita mo na, kuwari, if you are, hindi ka technically hindi ako, sa mga lalaki, no, hindi ako, I could not easily get access to them because by experience ako ng bullying ng bata. Because I was different from other kids, no, so yun. So, I would have to protect myself. So, mas naglilin ako sa mga babae kasi yung mga babae noon that time, they're very, very emotional. And my mom is, I was with my mom, so very emotional. I would go to them. And it's easy for me to access women than men, no? So, yun yung isa sa mga, at that protects me from being hurt, no? So, pag may lalaki dyan, hindi ko alam makapag-usap, so hahanap ako ng babae to have that conversation because I'm comfortable with women than men. So that's one. Another example is that because I experienced sexual abuse growing up as a kid, because of that experience, I'm able, naka-form ako ng ability to read people through from afar. And I could access people emotionally, easily. I could assess people. Actually, that's my gift. That's my gift. Because when I was young, I was geared to, kasi pag may, kuwari, bubugbugin ako or papagalitan na ako ng nanay ko, naaano ko na yan, naa-assess ko na, bago pa mangyari, naa-assess ko na kung ano yung susunod na mangyayari. And that's how I formed my response to trauma. Lagi akong 5 steps
So,
ahead.
alerto ka kagad.
Alerto ko kagad. At yung intuition ko was so heightened na bago pa mangyari, sometimes, sabi nga nila Nina, natatawa ako kasi parang yung intuition ko pang babae. At hindi lang, minsan pa nga, umaga pa lang, na-foresee ko na yung mangyayari ng hapon. Parang may ganun akong
Pwede nga siyang bolang kristal.
Bolang crystal, they would say. But I don't take it in a supernatural way. And in science, in psychology, I would have to take that because that's how I survived growing up. And that's my way to keep the pain at bay. Yun yung paraan ko para to keep the pain at bay. I would have to put my kumbaga sa radar ko, siguro sandosay ng satellite yung nasa paligid ko para makasense ako ng danger sa isang tao.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a gift. I would say that trauma will become a gift if used correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, because of that trauma, I would have to respond negatively on people if that experience or this experience mirrors my past. So, yun yung nagiging problema sa mag-asawa. Kasi sometimes, yung ginagawa ng asawa mo, kaya ka naiinis, it's because it reflects back to the trauma that you have experienced when you were a child. And in psychology, most of the partners that we get are the projections of the woundedness from our past. So sinasabi nila sometimes that your husband or your wife is your healing or your destruction. It will become your healing if both of you were aware kung saan kayo nanggagaling. But it will become your distraction if you cannot assess or you cannot see what's happening, if you don't have that awareness in your relationship. Grabe, no? Intense talaga ako nagpapaliwanag kasi I'm putting my heart out here, eh, no?
Sa kanya, very in touch siya doon sa pros ng having trauma. Sa akin, ang mas tumatak kasi sa akin yung mga bad effect na naidulot sa akin ng trauma ko. So, kung kay Jet, na-use niya yung trauma niya on how to deal with other people and sensing the danger even before it happened. Ako naman, doon naman ako lagapak. Ako yung naging insensitive in a way and not emotionally connected to myself because of my trauma.
But here's the catch, no? That insensitivity and that trauma of that experience of insensitivity and not being able to connect emotionally can also become a gift. So there were instances, kaya I was telling Nina, no, na hindi porket may trauma ka na ganyan is that you would take it negatively. If you would change the perspective, it could be useful. Why? Because si Nina, since a lot of our viewers are already, alam na ninyo sa vlog, no, we have a case, no, that we are handling right now. And at certain situation, she is a person that could be able to detach herself emotionally sa isang sitwasyon. So ako kasi, pag in-engage mo ako sa isang sitwasyon, my emotion is all over the place. So hindi mo ako pwede dalhin sa korte, hindi mo ako pwede dalhin sa kasi talagang, alam mo yun, talagang ramdam ko lahat, inasasagap ko lahat. But since she's able to detach emotionally, nagagamit niya yon. So, pwede niyang i-detach yung sarili niya sa takot, sa anger, pwede siyang nonchalant. Ang tawag ko sa kanyang skill or gift is the gift of camouflage. And I would say that because she can be able to, she is able to be functioning appropriately to a certain situation without having to engage emotionally. Kahit hindi niya kaya yung isang bagay, kaya niyang i-project na kaya niya without having that emotional attachment or emotional connection. Alam niyo yon. So, kaya niyang, kuwari, bibigyan ko siya ng task, gawin mo to, gawin mo yan. Gagawin niya yan. Kahit hindi niya gusto. Because that is the gift of camouflage that I would say. No? And that is because of the trauma na build niya yon to survive. Yung kanyang ability to do that is that it came from the experiences of trauma. So, in a general sense, I would say, ito, spiritually speaking, I think a lot of you may not be spiritual or we have different beliefs, no? But being a Catholic, no? I would say that sometimes the traumas that we experience are actually, I wouldn't say that it's a gift of from God, no? God allowed us to experience those things so that we may be able to use that gift para makatulong sa ibang tao or maybe to understand other people and to relate to other people, no? And I realized that experience that I had growing up is actually what God used for me to be able to get into people. I mean, not to get into people emotionally, but to be able to help people correlate and to also help them understand what they are going through. So that's why it's very close to my heart yung etong mga pag-uusap na ganito, psychology, human interaction, relationship, and everything under the sun, because this is something that I'm really I put my heart into it talaga. So anyway, yun lang.
Okay, so yun. Kaya I remember during middle school, lagi akong napagkakamalang suplada, I'm always misunderstood.
Mhm.
Kasi akala nila plastic ako. But I function depends, my functionality, parang makina lang no? Yun, I function depende sa tawag, ganyan. So, I'm very situational. Ako din yung tipo ng tao na pag nagkakasunog na, I will very calmly get all the papers na kailangan, organize the very important things na kailangan ilabas ng bahay, safely secure yung mga bata, and go out,
Na parang walang
on a
nangyari.
very calm manner.
Kung ako naman,
Siya yung kukunin ang megaphone at iba-broadcast hanggang south na may nasusunog.
tapos sunod, tatawa, takbo-takbo ka pa, no? May sunog. Siya may pagka-Jacqueline Jose siya eh. May sunog. Takbo na tayo, gumising na kayo.
Si Jet din yung tipo ng tao na tapos na yung sunog, naapula na, pero yung pakiramdam niya parang nagkakasunog pa rin.
Yes, yan. And that's our difference.
You mentioned na trauma is caused by abuse.
Mhm.
Maraming klase ng abuse.
Mm.
So how can they tell na trauma pala yun sa kanila if hindi sila aware na na-abuse sila? Or how can they tell na trauma yun? Traumatic yun for them. Just like I mentioned, di ba? You were okay ka, functioning ka.
Oo. If the event itself presents, kung laging merong, usually, paulit-ulit yung, kuwari, let's say, kung nasa isang relasyon ka at every relationship that you have, there's a certain pattern. So, for example, nagkaroon ka ng boyfriend or asawa na laging nambubugbog. Tapos, hiniwalayan mo, humanap ka ulit ng bagong jowa only to find out that that person is the same person, has the same character from the first one. Hihiwalayan mo ulit and only to find out na ganon din ang ginagawa sa'yo.
But you were always hopeful when you look for something. Kaya ka nga
Exactly.
umaalis because you want to be on a different situation.
Yes.
Why you end up being on the
Being
same
on the same
path or
pattern.
yeah.
Okay, because it again babalik tayo sa childhood, no? If the first directive kasi when you are dealing with trauma and woundedness is you would have to go back to the childhood and see for yourself what is the family dynamics. If in the family dynamics, it's very prominent that it could lead that maybe a child was nakikita niya siguro na binubugbog ng papa niya yung and she would think that it's a normal thing. She would think that it's a form of love. And as a kid, you don't have any idea because no one explains to you what really is happening.
What is wrong and right?
So, growing up, everything that the child sees is normal. Everything that the child sees is okay. So, when you are growing up, you would be functioning because you were thinking that, sa akin, normal na to eh. It's a normal thing eh. Ang pagbubugbog, form ng pagmamahal yan eh. So, but, of course, in every situation, there will always be consequence. By the age of 30 or 40, bakit? Of course, you would be seeing some of your friends. Bakit hindi ganun yung nangyayari sa kanila? And that's when you come to a realization that there would come a time that you would feel, parang hindi na to tama. And that's where it starts. When you think that there is already there's something wrong already.
Red flag.
There's already red flags.
Triggers.
There's already triggers. At parang hindi na nagiging functional yung buhay mo at a sense because ang ating purpose, or I mean not really a purpose, everybody really aims for peace. Diba? Kaya nga tayo, gusto natin tahimik yung buhay natin. Pero why if you see that your life is in chaos or very chaotic, you have to start looking, baka meron kang kailangang i-work out. If it happens that it becomes a pattern, 4, 5, 6, paulit-ulit, then must be not with the person anymore, but it could be you are attracting that same energy from yung same patterns, that dynamics that you feel comfortable at. Kasi pag hindi ka familiar dun sa dynamics na minamahal, na hindi binubugbog, pag hindi ka familiar sa ganung dynamics, syempre lalayuan mo yan kasi hindi ka familiar dun Pero growing up, ang familiarity sa'yo ng pagmamahal ay binubugbog, sinasaktan, kasi nakikita sa parents, or ganito, minumura, and all that stuff. And that's familiarity growing up, di ba? So, ngayon, since so doon nagkakaroon ngayon ng ibang attachment styles, then I will talk about that on a latter part, no? But we are talking about the trauma. So trauma really plays a big part in choosing the partner, and also understanding that we get our partner depending on what our childhood wound is.
So it's very important talaga to address muna your issues, personal issues, actually, yung before entering into the relationship, which we learned the hard way.
Pero actually, it's a good thing then, no? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean na kilala ko na perfect na ako bago ko pumasok sa isang relasyon. No. Actually, it's good that sometimes that the couple will have that capacity to really listen and to understand and to be self-aware about ourselves and how we manifest ourselves to each other. Kasi ako, growing up, okay, my childhood wound would be, ano yun? Defectiveness. So growing up, I thought that I am defective. I believed that I was defective. Well, sometimes I had that triggers pa rin na I think I'm defective, no? So, I would see myself that I'm not perfect, I'm defective, that's why nobody loves me, I'm acceptable, I'm not valued, I am not seen. So, that defectiveness is my woundedness. So, pag ginawa ni Ninya, sinisita niya ako, or may sinasabi siya sa akin, may ganito, pino-point out siyang mga ganito, ganyan, I would automatically think that the reason why she is telling that to me is because there is something wrong with me and I am defective. So that's where the problem arises. Kasi you would always think that your partner, even though unintentional, she is projecting something to me that reminds me of my past or my childhood, and I would be triggered by it. So yun yung kailangan mong malaman, why am I that easily triggered by this woman? Because of what she says or what she does. So now that I'm quite aware of what is my woundedness, I'm able to address it to her and to myself. What do I need to do so that I wouldn't feel that I am defective as I thought I am? So, siya naman, she would always think that she is undervalued and abandoned. So ang childhood woundedness niya is abandonment.
Meron siyang mga kilos minsan na I would automatically think na he's not paying attention. He's being parang neglectful. Ganyan, na parang, sige, gawin na lang yan para lang matahimik ako. Ganon. Yun yung laging nasa-sense ko sa ginagawa niya because I felt abandoned nga when I was a child. Maagang namatay yung daddy ko. I've talked about it naman na dun sa mga previous videos namin. And since my dad died, my mom was not emotionally and physically connected anymore. Lalo na sa akin. Kasi ako yung pinakabata Siyempre, that's a different side of the story. I'm not fully aware kung ano yung nangyayari noon. Also, meron din siyang sariling pinagdadaanan. So, she was not able to attend to me physically and emotionally. And also, hindi rin nila ako na-help mentally how to process yung mga nangyayari. So, I grew up, nadala-dala ko yung ano na yun yung wound na yun, yung trauma na yun. Kaya, every time na meron mangyayari, magtatalunan kami. easily, ang lagi kong napaperceive is yon. Nineneglect niya ako, wala siyang pakialam. Oh, yan. Wala siyang pakialam. Kulang na lang mamatay ako dyan, kabubuhat ng mga mabibigat. Wala siyang pakialam.
And that is the reason, one of the reason why we almost got separated, because we didn't able to recognize our childhood woundedness, and we are looking at each other as if we were enemies.
We are intentionally doing it to each other.
Yes, but the reality is that we are tending to our woundedness din. Kasi parang every time she does things, I would feel like there's something wrong with me. For example, pag-aawayan namin yung simpleng pagdadrive, siya magdadrive or aayusin niya yung tubo. Bakit ikaw mag-aayos ng tubo? Ganon. Dapat ako mag-aayos kasi ako yung lalaki, ganyan. Ang nasa isip ko pala is that, so ang tingin mo sa akin, hindi ko kaya to? So ano kala mo sa akin, may mali ako? Hindi ko kaya? Defective ako? Ganito ako? Ganito, ganyan. So I would have that self-talk. And nagkakaroon ako ng resentment sa kanya every time she does that.
And on the other hand, ako naman, on the other side of the road, andun ako thinking na I'm very independent, kaya ko to.
Because abandoned nga siya, di ba? So she would always have to tend to herself.
Yes.
She became independent naman.
Kita mo, ang tagal na nating married. Ilang taon na?
15 almost.
Oh, di ba? More than 15 years na kaming married. And up to now, we still carry our traumas.
And we are working on it every day. It's not easy, guys, no? I'm telling you, it's not that once you know your trauma and then, okay na yun. The reality is, once you have your trauma and your woundedness, we always think, and I learned this because I just attended a class last week, for 2.5 weeks, no? It was a short course for a spiritual companioning, which is what I took for so that I could get ready for my big class that I would be na talagang yun na talaga. So anyway, on that class, I understood, because I have that connotation in my mind that when you have that childhood trauma or childhood wound, as time goes by, nag-shrink yung childhood wound. That's how I thought, na lumiliit yung childhood wound natin habang tumatagal, pag ina-address natin, pag ina-acknowledge natin. We thought that pag alam na natin yung mga na natin, wala nang problema, healed na tayo. There's no such thing as totally healed in trauma. There's no such thing as totally healed. You will never be okay. You will be okay, you will be better, but you will not be entirely okay. Why? Because I found out in a study, I forgot the name of the person, but in our class, it was explained to us that you outgrow your trauma. So imagine that you have a glass. Yung trauma mo, same size lang yan. Ang lumalaki yung bote. Because we thought, pare-pareho yung size ng bote, lumiliit yung trauma. No, it's not that way. Same pa rin yung trauma, the gravity, but you outgrow the trauma, that there will come a time that it won't really matter anymore. Because mas malaki na yung bote kaysa doon sa trauma mo. And that's how we should perceive trauma. Na hindi yan siya natatanggal. It's a peklat. That it's gonna be there. You would be triggered by it once in a while. You would have that outburst. You would have that. Still, it's gonna be you. It's a human, because subconsciously it's wired. It's just the way it is, no. But you outgrow it. And how do you outgrow it? How do you change the glass kung nasaan yung trauma? The glass is a representation of our body. How do we outgrow that trauma? It's by becoming constantly aware and learning and revisiting that whenever we feel that we are triggered by something from our past. And just be reminded constantly, kung nagalit ka, hindi yung hayaan mo na lang. So, what the couples should need to do is that always ask yourself, Saan ba ako nanggagaling? Why am I triggered like that? Yun yung importante sa mag-asawa, na aware kayo pareho kung saan nanggagaling. Kung ako, katulad niyan, pag nagagalit ako ngayon at a certain situation, I would always ask myself, why am I triggered by this? Am I triggered because kagalit-galit talaga yung sitwasyon, or because I am triggered by my childhood trauma? Baka kasi yung galit ko, nanggagaling sa childhood trauma, pinoproject ko lang sa taong to. Or baka kagalit-galit naman talaga yung sitwasyon. You would always have to assess where your feelings or your emotions are coming from. Is it from trauma, or is it a valid experience? So, or a valid present experience. So, important yan na decipher ninyo. Also, constantly being aware of how you are feeling every day is helpful. So that's why it's important to be able, ako ang ginagawa ko talaga, love. And she knows this. I would always have time to reflect in a day. Hindi kailangan sobrang tagal. Kahit naguhugas ako, that's why I like washing dishes. Because the time that I am washing dishes is the time that I am reflecting, ano ba nangyari ngayong araw? Also, being me a spiritual person as well, na I would always say, what does God says to me in this situation? And I would always interconnect that. What is God saying to me in this certain situation? And also checking myself, how am I today? You know? So yung mga simpleng bagay, you don't need to like sit down and just, also, but that helps, like going to the retreat, also have your day off and just be with yourself. Pero syempre, sa pagiging mag-asawa, hindi yan doable dahil alam naman natin lahat, we're all busy. But even when you are driving alone, washing dishes, naglalaba ka, nagsasampay, that is an opportunity for you to self-reflect. And having that self-reflection helps you to become more aware of how your heart responds to certain things. And I think that is the way we were able to work out our relationship, although it's not perfect. We still fight, but due to constant awareness, I am able to say sorry sincerely because I know where I'm coming from. So yun. That's just my piece.
Akala nyo, it's easier said than done. Sabi nga nila, being self-aware, kahit ako nahihirapan pa rin ako hanggang ngayon when it comes to that. So, dahil nga sinabi mo, being self-aware helps the relationship to get better. Diba? To cap it all. So, trauma is the result of a very painful situation.
Painful event.
Painful event that stays with you. And
you cannot remove it. It will stay with you. Just like pag may namatayan ka. Diba? Hindi mo naman kakalimutan yung namatay na kamag-anak, asawa. It stays with you forever. So you outgrow it.
So dyan yung you forgive but you never forget.
Yes. Yes, actually, you can forgive but you can never forget. Because it stays there. It's pain. And I think it's really important that you have this kind of idea of how trauma really affects couples and relationship, so that it's kind of like an awareness. I think it's about time that people should be aware and not be distracted. We are distracted with a lot of things, social media and all that stuff. No, maraming mga pangyayari sa paligid. But if we are constantly in check at once in a while with ourselves, we would find out how gifted you are even if you have traumas. Kasi trauma, again, is a gift and a curse. That's all I can say. It's a gift and a curse. It's how you deal with it. It's how you manage it. It's how you use it for the better, to be able to uplift another person because of that's why if you're going to research, your woundedness would be able to heal other people. Yon.
Wow.
So yun lang, guys. Maraming salamat sa panonood dito sa aming very very profound profound first podcast that I have. I don't have any title yet, but I will think. So, yun na, kung ano may makikita nyo sa thumbnail, yun na yung title. And I hope that if you guys like this, please follow my page. But I would be posting this full on Nina Rayos, my wife's page, Nina Rayos. So, follow Nina Rayos in YouTube. And I will have my own Facebook page that I will be uploading this one. And also, the clips that I will be sharing, please reshare it so that we can help other people kung may mga pinagdadaanan kayo. And again, you can visit Plan Ferry Manila for more information. If you want to dine in and experience and talk to us, you can do so. You can come here and visit us. We are here. At the moment, wala kaming Monday, but Tuesdays to Sundays, we are here 1 to 10 p.m. Pero you have to make an appointment kasi minsan wala kami dito. So, yun lang guys. Thank you so much for watching and we hope to see you on the next one. Bye everyone.
Yay! Congrats!
Congrats!